Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. We have survived January. Barely, but hey, here we are in February. I wanted to take a real quick second and follow up on the results of my January no spend challenge. Even with my garage burning down and insurance not covering it, future video, it still was a really good month. Long story short, for the entire month of January, I lived on an $80 per week budget. Cash envelopes that had $20 in them a piece, gas, grocery, personal, miscellaneous. And I got a lot of questions about that asking, are you still paying your mortgage? What about your insurance, your bills? All of my fixed expenses were all still being paid. The point of a no spend is to control your variable spending, things that you have control over, like going out to eat at restaurants, movies, entertainment, etc. Now, I know a lot of people do no spends in January because it's a brand new year, maybe paying off like holiday expenses. But for me, in my case, I pay a lot of bills annually that come around in January, or right around the New Year mark, which is still January. My HOA or homeowners association fees, my quarterly taxes, annual insurances, and a bunch of other things all just piled up in January. I knew they were coming, and I should have been smart and written them in my new planner. I made a mental note and already put them on my Google Calendar, so at the end of this year, I know, girl, you better have a little extra money set aside because you're paying a lot of bills. The total cost of all these expenses paid in January totaled $6,800. Hence why we did no spend January. And the point of doing this no spend was to help pay off all of those bills and annual expenses without digging too much into my savings and emergency funds. And as a whole, this entire experience worked out great. I was able to declutter things all around my house and donate items that I wasn't using that could really benefit someone else. And I was also able to live out of my pantry and really clear out my stockpile of food and freezerware. Biggest things I learned during the no spend challenge. Number one, want versus need. Do I need that nice coffee every single morning, or could I make it at home? Number two was the power of the DIY, which really means taking the time to fix something on your own rather than go out and just buy a new one. For example, the lining in the pockets of my winter coat, they wore out. So when I put my hands into my pockets, I could feel like the inner lining of the entire coat. So instead of going out and buying a whole new coat, I pulled the pockets out, stitched them up, and put them back in. So now I have essentially fixed my coat. Talent. DIY, nailed it. Number three, I learned just how much food has been sitting in my pantry and my freezer. The entire first week of the no spend, I think I spent $6 on staples at the grocery store, and then completely made a meal plan, like a weekly schedule based off of things in my pantry and my freezer. So much rice, so much pasta, so much frozen produce. And number four, I learned how important it is to stick to a schedule. During times that I would normally go out and shop and be leisure, I would make sure I was cleaning, lesson planning, doing something, and I would keep myself on a schedule so I wouldn't just magically end up in the shops downtown in Columbus or the shopping center or the mall. It's so weird when that happens. If you also did a no spend January, or I continue doing a no spend year, let me know how it went for you, if it's done, or how it is currently going for you right now down below in the comments. Also, if you have yet to subscribe, I will be doing many more savings and budget videos, so make sure to click that subscribe button down below. But for me, when it comes to the total results of the January no spend, taking the time and budgeting $80 per week for the entire month saved me over $4,200. Do I have that money sitting in my account right now? No, I don't. It was used to pay off all of those annual bills, fees, insurances, mortgages, like I have more than one? Just one. All the fun things that came along at the beginning of the year have now completely 100% been paid off, and I did not have to dig too deep into my emergency funds or my savings account. I should in the next week and a half. I want to say by my birthday, so maybe by next Friday, the 15th, I should have my savings account back to where it was at the end of the year, which does put me 6 weeks behind in savings goals that I would rather be 6 weeks behind in saving my own money than being in debt and paying interest to someone else. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm now currently debating doing another no spend in March when the time comes to buy all the things that were burnt down in my garage fire. I know I stated this once before, but my insurance will not be covering this. And again, I will do another video on that topic in the future. Shameless plug. Just didn't want to bring it into this video because this is supposed to be happiness about completing a no spend and not about insurance. Except I paid them a lot of money. If you have done a no spend before or are planning to do one, what is your purpose or motivation? Are you trying to pay off debt? Do you want more money to travel? Are you saving for school? Like, what is your inspiration? Because we're kind of getting to the point in the year where New Year's has faded off. That motivation of New Year, New Me is gone. It's so gone. So let me know down below in the comments if you were to do a no spend, or if you have, what is your motivation? Why are you doing it? What keeps you, budgeting out your money and seeing where things go? Just kind of keeping an eye on your expenses week by week. But like I said before, I completed the January no spend. It was awesome. I highly recommend it, especially at the beginning of the year when you are, again, motivated by the New Year, New Me mantra. And it kind of just sets your finances back in check. If you maybe spent a little too much in the Christmas and holiday season or did some New Year's travels, it kind of puts everything back on track. And January just kind of resets everything for you. Moving forward, Saturday videos are still going to be about budget, finance, and savings because I love talking to you guys about that, and it's just kind of a nice way to start off the weekend by just sitting down, chatting with you guys about various topics. But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified for all future videos. Carry on, have a great weekend, continue saving, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!